folks? We're back. Welcome to the Lakers Lens podcast, episode 2 of season 2. I'm joined by my co-host, Max Arquilla.
What's up, everyone?
I am Matt Hollenbeck. Guys, I was in Hawaii last week.
How was it?
It was sick, man. I didn't get to watch much basketball. I watched a little bit, but the time zone's 3 hours behind, so it's like if the Lakers play at 7:30 or 5 even, the game's at 2, so I was like out doing stuff most of the time. You know?
Damn.
So
did you surf? That was my question.
Oh yeah, surf.
Oh,
Went hiking,
nice.
a bunch of stuff, kayaking, so very active to say the least. But let's just jump right into it because we did miss a week's worth of games, and to be honest, Max, not the best first couple weeks we've ever had as Lakers fans.
It's like a roller coaster, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's just jump right into it, honestly, and start with the Warriors versus the Lakers. What was our prediction for this? I didn't think we said we'd win, did we? No, I think we said we'd win the first game.
No.
We said 2-1.
Oh, yes. And then, yeah, 2-1.
Let's just run through these stats real quick. Lots to say about this one, but we'll keep it kind of short. LeBron, 34 points, 11 rebounds. AD, 33 and 11. No one else in double digits. Melo, 9. Westbrook had an awful game, 8, 5, and 4. That's pretty much it. And then, I remember one of our keys was keep Curry contained, but he only had 21 points, Max. Second leading scorer, Jordan Poole, but their bench, just everyone was in double digits. Damian Lee, 15. Bielitsa, 15. Iggy even had 12. Wiggins had 12. So, I mean, what happened in this first game, Max?
I honestly did we predict them to lose? I don't know why I'm thinking that. Are you sure we said a win? We did?
We did.
Oh, we said a loss to the Suns. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this game was kind of like, listen, I kind of I didn't expect a loss, but I think I said in the last pod, like, I expected a close game. I expected kind of a lot of, like, disorganization. And there was a lot of that. Curry, we actually guarded pretty well. He wasn't playing. He ended up with a triple-double. But, like, yeah, Curry's usually in near the 30s a game. I thought we actually guarded him pretty well. But this game, dude, again, Jordan Poole was an issue. And it's, to me, like, what's frustrating about this team is, I feel like we talked about this last year too, but like the amount of like blown assignments defensively, and I get it's a new team, this is going to be a reoccurring thing, but like, dude, there are so many just wide open threes we're just letting up. And I noticed that in this game. And you can't do that against the Warriors. Like, you can't do that. You got to move without the ball. You got to keep everyone in front of you. You have to fight through screens. You have to be disciplined. And I wasn't seeing a lot of that on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And Westbrook was awful. I mean, let's just be real. That first game, he was atrocious. And that killed us. Turnovers, another theme. Just awful. Just absolutely awful. So those were kind of just honestly like defensive turnovers. I know it's pretty basic, but like that killed us in this game.
Mm-hmm. I believe free throws too were pretty bad. Yeah, we were 9 for 19 from free throw. That was my other thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, free throws. That was awful. I hope that changes, dude. I am sick of this. But I feel like I was really frustrated night of, but the OKC one was the one that really bothered me the most. The Warriors are a good team. So we can kind of transition. I mean, honestly, dude, like, I think it was Westbrook hurt us. Like, I mean, the amount of missed shots he had. I mean, you're just gonna lose games when you shoot that poorly in percentage and free throws. Yeah. I guess just to kind of wrap that one up, it was like, I think I said something over text, like, I don't care how, or someone said, like, I don't care how good LeBron and AD do. It doesn't really matter if no one else can do anything. So
That's kind of how I felt about the Warriors game myself. But yeah, we gotta move on to the Kings. Game 2 of the season. The final score was... Oh, no, not the Kings. Sorry, the Suns.
No, the Suns. Yeah.
Yeah, that one we predicted a loss. It was 115-105 NBA Finals team. Honestly, just a great team overall, but...
Yeah.
Lakers stats... AD 22-14, LeBron 25-5, Westbrook almost had a triple-double, 15, 11, and 9, Carmelo 16-5. That's kind of it. And then Suns all around the board. Chris Paul 23, Devin Booker 22, Bridges 21. I mean, they just fill it up with whoever's feeling it. But what do you see from this one, Max?
A lot of blown defense assignments again. I saw another theme, and I really wanted to talk about that because it's, up to this point, I know we've seen a lot of games till now, but, I definitely have a pretty big concern with the defense going forward, just in general. There's a lot of gaps, and I think Vogel's trying to figure it out, and I think playing Avery Bradley more, in the later games, he kind of realized, you know what, I'm sick of these guys blown assignments. I'm sick of losing games because, I think last year we were so scarred with our offense. Our offense was so bad we couldn't hit open shots that obviously Pelinka gave us a lot of shooters, a lot of scorers. But I think the issue with Pat is we have LeBron, AD, and even Westbrook who can create a little bit that can do a lot of that scoring. And yes, you want to surround him with shooters, but dude, you have to defend on the other side of the floor. Teams will eat you alive, especially in today's NBA. And we noticed that, I love Monk, and we talk great, we talked a lot about him. He's not the best defender, at least right now. I think he's young and he can work on it, but he seems lost a lot of times. And another thing I do want to touch on, we have been missing, remember, Ariza, THT, and Nunn. That's going to give us more speed, length. That's something that is going to help us defensively. But you saw in this game a team like the Suns, who have played together for a while, have that chemistry that won them this game. And I said that in the pod, and you agreed. I think you said the same thing. Chemistry kind of killed us in this game, defensively and offensively.
I think one of our problems is, I notice this a lot, and I don't think we've ever even brought this up, but the ability to stop a run while it's happening.
Yes.
We're not very good at that. We're not good at. We just let runs go on for way too long. It's it's we don't have that ability to just buckle down and get a stop. It usually takes a timeout or 4 or 5 buckets in a row for us to figure it out. I've talked about it before, man. Yeah. LeBron giving up on after a turnover. Westbrook does it all the time.
Good point.
It's and it gets worse too. The longer the run goes, they'd rather burn a timeout and go talk it over than actually put in the work to end the
droughts. They get in these droughts, dude. Just these big scoring droughts, and it kills them. I also think, I don't know if it was this game or a couple of the games, we were getting out rebounded too. And it's dude, you're playing DeAndre Jordan and in the first half, and it's that blows my mind, man. Box out. I know a lot of them were kind of long rebounds, but just it's honestly, man, it's really there's those fundamentals along with just building that chemistry, I think. But yeah, they do go in those big droughts where it's can someone make a play? You're gonna get blown out, and we'll talk about the OKC game because we saw trends of it in the Suns and the Warriors, but especially OKC, it's they kind of vanish or they take their foot off the gas. You can't do that, you can't do that in the NBA.
Yeah, well, bad start of the season, but Max, we almost lost again. To be honest with you, to the Grizzlies on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
121, 118. John Morant just had a field day. He had 40 and 10. Steven Adams, 14 and 16. Desmond Bain, 17. Jaren Jackson, 12. Then on our side, my boy, a couple games too late, Carmelo had 28, leading scorer for the Lakers. Monk picked it up a little bit with 12. You could kind of see him getting back into like a rhythm and more confidence offensively.
Yeah.
Westbrook 13 and 7. AD 22 and 8. LeBron 19 and 6. And it really came down to the wire, to be honest with you. We were down going into the fourth. John Morant went on a tear. Let's just look at these free throws again. Not great, 68%. We shot pretty well from the field, but 17 turnovers again. First game we had 17, second game 16, and third game 17 again. So what do you see? What do you see from the Grizzlies?
I love the Grizzlies. I think they're a great young team. They got a lot of talent. I love Jaren Jackson. I love John Morant. I think another thing too I wanted to point out, I think I texted you this, but it's like sometimes watching the Lakers, I'm like, I was ripping them defensively earlier, but also on the offensive end, like there are so many possessions, dude. And I get like, it's going to happen sometimes where it's just kind of like freestyle, but it's like, are we running any sets? Like, let's be more creative. We have all this talent, and so much of the time, guys are standing around. We're just isoing players. Like, why can't I just listen? I get you're not going to run a play every time, but it's like there's possessions deep in the fourth where it's like,
yeah.
Do you not practice like some nice sets at least like to get AD isolated, like get him a screen or like do more ball screens. Sometimes they don't even set a ball screen and it's like just LeBron dribbling at the top, like just waiting. It's like you have so much talent, like why not run something? Be creative. Look at the Warriors offense, dude. Like that's Steve Kerr's offense. They do all these off the ball screens and movements and flare screens and slips and all this stuff to get the defense on their shoes. And I just don't see the Lakers doing it. And it's so it drives me insane because we also have high IQ players. We have guys that are veterans. They should know this stuff. They should be able to execute. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more of it, especially late in games when we need buckets. Because that can build your momentum, right? If you get good quality shots, it's just going to help your chances of winning. And they just haven't. And they didn't in this Grizzlies game. And it was a lot of disorganization. Guys kind of just not. And I know a lot of new players, new faces, learning to play with each other. But I don't know. I think that hurt them in this game down the stretch.
Yeah, I think goes back to what you said about chemistry, too. And you look at someone like the Warriors, and for the last, 10 years, pretty much all their players have been drafted except for Durant, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And so they're able to build that chemistry. Like, you take someone like Monk and you try and put him in an offense where it's like LeBron decides what to do and you don't really know what he wants you to do. Yeah. And you're supposed to assume what he wants without him telling you, like, in that moment. Or even take all the stars. Like, Carmelo's not going to move without the ball. Westbrook, if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's pretty useless, right? Yeah. So it's like, how can we get the best out of everyone? Yeah. And I don't even know if it is a set play, because when has Westbrook been good off the ball? When is Carmelo set a bunch of screens and backdoor cuts and stuff? It's like a lot of those guys are one-on-one players, you know?
That is a great point. And, I think though, it is tough with some of the personnel we have, but I think what I'm worried about is that we're focused too much on making sure that almost every shot is either created by Westbrook, LeBron, or AD, which, listen, I get it. You're your stars. You want to make sure the majority of them. But it's like you said, we have talented ISO players, that I think guys like Bazemore, guys like Monk, some of these guys off the bench. It's like, I don't think I saw once in this stretch, Monk coming
like getting a down screen or like a flare or something like that, creating for Monk. And to me, like, that's not utilizing Monk to his full potential. And I don't like that. Like, remember, he's also getting the worst defender, right? Because the opposing team's going to put always the best defender on LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. That gives you opportunities for some of these guys. And they're talented. Monk, when THT, Nunn get back, like, those guys, like, I want to see them get more looks. And I really hope they do.
Yeah.
So
I want to move on, but I forgot to ask you about the Dwight Howard AD thing against the Suns.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Let's just quickly go over it. Did you have any, does that concern you at all? Are you nervous about that? Or was it more like they know each other so well that they're okay with doing that?
I would say the second one. I think I'm not too worried about it. I get it. I don't think it's a good look, and I don't think you never want to see that happening. I'm not saying it's okay that it happened. But at the same time, like, I think they're two very smart players with, like, really good resumes. And I think just in the heat of the moment, they kind of lost it. And you know how Dwight is, dude. Like, I'm like, AD's very, like, relaxed and more quiet. Dwight probably said something to AD, like, I don't know what, but, like, I'm sure Dwight probably initiated something. And maybe in, like, a silver lining here is maybe Dwight kind of, like, you know, all the negative attention, he kind of, like, learned from it, and he's like, you know, I need to control my emotions a little bit, because he does stupid stuff. We know that. It's Dwight, dude. Like, he's so emotional. Like, he's just an emotional person. But you can't do that stuff. You can't. You just can't. You can't at all. And I don't want to see that again. If we see anything like that again, I'm going to be very concerned. But I think, you know, early in the season, I think they just got a little emotional. I'm fine with it. And I liked how they owned up to it. Dwight apologized. He said, like, we worked it out. Like, we talked about it. So that's good. But I think they're fine. I'm not worried.
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for that, or just sitting courtside, like, just to see what they said. Because it seemed like it had to do with Rondo and AD, which was weird. Or Rondo and Dwight on the court. That's what it looked like. It looked like Dwight yelled at Rondo for something, and then AD said something in, like, defense of Rondo, but they never clarified it. So
I'm not sure.
I agree, though. I think they just, you know, they're all-time players, so they've obviously spent a lot of time together, but who knows? Moving on to the Lakers-Spurs first overtime game. Pretty important win just to keep, you know, instead of going 1-3, you go back to 500 at 2-2, but 125, 121, AD had 35 and 17, great game.
Huge.
LeBron got hurt, but we know he's fine now. Westbrook had a great game, 33, 10 and 8, kind of getting into his rhythm. Monk, 17 and 3, big minutes. Big minutes as a starter. Your boy Austin Reeves had 10 and 2. He's playing 30 minutes.
He's getting a lot of minutes, dude. Remember, you're like, I don't know if he's gonna play.
Well, okay, but that's dude. Like, once Nunn comes back and
I
THT,
know,
he's not gonna play.
But I'm just saying, it's impressive. I mean, I'm surprised he's playing that much.
Me too.
Crazy.
Yeah. But we squeaked out the win. The Spurs. Pirtle had a good game, 27 and 14. DeJounte Murray had a triple-double, 21, 15, 12. The second year, Devin Vassell had 19. Lonnie Walker, 21. So, again, Max, you look at these teams that are, like, rebuilding, sort of, and we always have trouble with them because just the chip on your shoulder is so much greater against our team.
Yes.
And they're just, like, there's this weird, like, cohesion and, like sense of teamwork that you get from, like, being a bad team. It's like it's just easier to, like, be the underdog in this situation and just play together, you know, whereas, like, in this kind of game we're playing down to a team like the Spurs. You know, maybe we know we're, like, all 7 all-stars on our team, but, like, you know, why are these games so close? That's my question.
I think there is a huge lack of chemistry, kind of like what we were talking about. And the things we're talking about kind of are, a result of that lack of chemistry, like the defensive breakdowns and the offensive breakdowns, right? The turnovers. There are so many possessions where, like, I've watched just, like, Austin Reeves or, like, even Westbrook or, like, Monk, where they're, like, trying to space and they get too close to the ball and they're, like, because they don't really know how each other play and, like, where to be exactly. And I hope this is stuff that you look in the film room and you really try to, like, analyze and dissect and talk about and learn from. But I feel like it's too early in the season to be too concerned, because I really do think this team's just trying to figure everything out. And they said that, I think Westbrook said that, or LeBron or someone, or maybe it was Vogel, but they were basically saying, like, we're just trying to figure everything out right now. Like, this is the time where, and it's going to even make it, when we get these guys back from injury, that's what sucks about injury. You don't have that cohesion, that consistency, that continuity. It's lacking. And, I do want to say about this game, I'm really happy to see AD, like, just absolutely dominate this game.
Yeah.
Dude, he has got to, like, punish teams. Like, we are going to win this year. And again, I feel like I'm repeating myself from last year, but, like, he is the key to success for us. He can destroy a game in the paint on both ends of the floor. And when we play small with him at the 5, like, we can beat any team, dude. Like, we really can. But I think it's about putting these other pieces together. And a team like the Spurs, Grizzlies, right? They're close games because these teams are young. They're taking advantage of our turnovers. They're getting out and running. We're not getting back because we're a little slow, we're a little older. We're kind of more out of pace because we're, these guys have been in the league. And these young guys are just saying, let me take advantage of it. And that's hurting us. It really is. So you got to clean some of this stuff up and really work at it in the film room. I think that's the key out of this game.
Yeah, I think that's well put. So let's move on to a game that you're not happy about. Just should never happen. And it's another example kind of what you just talked about. But Russ's return to Oklahoma City, he got a standing ovation, but also got ejected. Lakers 115, Oklahoma City 123. AD had 30 and 8, Bazemore 11, Westbrook triple-double 2014 and 13, but didn't really look very good. Melo had 13, Avery Bradley had 13, which I'd like to see. Thunder kind of just shared it around. SGA had 27. Josh Giddey, the rookie, we talked about him, I think. He is going to be good.
He's nice.
18 and 10, Bazley 20, Dort 17, Favors 15. I mean, just that lineup is disgusting. It's not a good team.
They're not. No, I mean,
we blew it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Third quarter, the third quarter score was 41-23, Thunder, and yeah. So you want to dive into that?
That was, to blow a 26-point lead to probably the worst team in the NBA. I don't care. All these kind of what we're talking about, chemistry and even me saying it's early, we're trying to figure. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for what happened in this game. That was one of the most embarrassing losses I can remember. That game, dude, was absurd. You want to talk about taking your foot off the gas and just thinking that it's okay to just cruise through a game and be fine.
Yeah.
That was so bad and embarrassing, man. I feel like I have so much to say, but I don't even know where to start. I
think it just comes back to yeah, I think it just comes back to all the things the little things we've talked about in every game so far has all put into one game.
Yeah.
You know, it's like turnovers, getting back on defense, free throws, effort, like you know, playing down to your competition. Like, those are just some of the examples, but this stuff is like, it was all at once, and it was hard. I only caught a little bit of it, but it was like came in at the wrong time. Like, first quarter was 41-19.
They looked great to start, dude. Like, they were dominating, and I was like, this is how it should be.
Like, but guess what? Unlike a team like the Thunder, we tend to have a problem taking our foot off of the gas.
Yeah. This happened last year, too. Yeah.
Especially our stars. I mean,
dude.
Some weird thing about stars and getting a lead is, like, they just slow down. Like, you wouldn't put someone that, like, Caruso will play the whole game, the same effort, the same hustle, like that. But you're just not going to get that out of these vets. It's just not going to happen. They turn it on when they want to or when they need to, and sometimes it bites us in the butt.
You know, and another thing, too, and I didn't touch on it in the Spurs game, but I remember the Spurs game, Westbrook was attacking so aggressively to the hoop and getting shots around the rim. And I feel like he kind of, like, stopped doing that. And he, like, played into their hands, dude.
It just can't happen.
Just can't happen.
I mean,
you got to put your foot on the gas when you're up. So you can bench AD, LeBron, and Russ in the fourth.
Yeah, and even without LeBron, this shouldn't happen.
Oh, yeah, LeBron wasn't even playing, but that is... honestly, dude, that means nothing to me. Like, this team should still... This team with just AD should destroy the Thunder. I'm sorry. Like... Yeah. It's ridiculous. That was terrible, and I just... All I can think about is I really hope they learn something from this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see anything like this ever again. You know, you got to put away the bad teams. Especially, I think you've talked about this before on the pod. Like, it's especially important to put away the bad teams because the good teams, we know with the, that chemistry they have, like the Suns, right? Those games are probably going to cough some of those up. You can't be losing against the Thunder. Like, tonight, they play the Rockets. Can't lose, dude.
Yeah.
Can't lose.
Well, I think I texted you that last 2 nights ago. I was like, if we lose these next 2 or 3 games... I'm done with the podcast. It was a joke. But at the same time, like, look at this schedule, man. Thunder, Cavs, Rockets, Thunder. Like, that should be 5-0.
Yeah, 100%.
100 every single time.
There's no excuse. I'm sorry. They have so much talent, dude. Like, even off the bench. Like...
Yeah. We only have about 2 minutes before the break, but I think we can kind of breeze through this Cavs-Rockets duo of games. We showed some good stuff. It's hard to talk about how good we're doing stuff when these are games, like we said, that you just need, like, they're just obvious should be wins. But just quickly, Carmelo, another great game against the Cavs, 24. LeBron, 26. AD kind of took a back seat. Is this the one he got hurt in? No, it wasn't. And 15. And then... So we just kind of rolled through, and now the fourth quarters in these like kind of blowout games, we tend to let up on the gas. I noticed that especially against the Rockets, but it's been happening.
And it's okay. Like, it's gonna happen. They're all pros. Like, teams are gonna make their run in the third or the fourth. Yeah. But it's about how you respond when that happens, right? And not letting it get out of hand and controlling the game. And I think they did for the most part in both these.
Yeah,
Melo was great. Melo was great.
In both games, Melo was awesome. He had 23 against the Rockets, too. Kind of shared the ball, especially against the Rockets.
Ball
Everyone
movement's
had like 15
another
or 20.
Thing we really need to be looking for this year, ball movement.
Yeah. there's not much to say about these games other than the fact that we got the job done. And we will talk about the previews for next week after this short little break. We'll see you in the second half. Folks, we are back with the second half of the Lakers Lens podcast. Looking at a little preview. We're going to try and get this up before the game tonight on Tuesday. We get the Rockets again at 7:30. Looking at the Thunder on Thursday. The Blazers on Saturday. And that's it for this week. So, why don't we start with the Rockets? They're going to learn what they need to do for tonight's game. Which is, it's hard to tell that team to do something different just because we're way, way better than they are. But what are you looking for?
I want to get off to a good early start. That's going to be something I'm looking for tonight. Build a lead early. Let's not play around with this team and give them hope. That was another kind of thing about the Thunder game. Like, we gave them hope, and you can't do that against a young team like that, right? The moment you give them hope, they will come at you, right? Let's try to get a good lead early. Let's really try to get out and run, but also take care of the basketball, right? But remember, this team is like built to run in transition and get buckets there. I'd like to see us just come out strong and not come out just kind of like, cruising around. Again, all the stuff we're kind of talking about, let's see that early in the first quarter. Box out, rebound. Because if you don't beat yourself, you dominate this game. Because you have so much more talent than the Rockets. They're a bunch of young players. They got some talent, but a bunch of young guys. Come out, just play the right way. I want to see them play the right way. Don't turn the ball over. Like, please, dude. Like, Westbrook, like, just play your game. Play within your game. Don't force anything. But play the right way. That's kind of my theme for this Rockets game. Because I don't want to see, and if you gain a lead, we kind of talked about what you need to do. Don't give them hope.
Right.
So what would you think? What do you think?
Well, I just was remembering a text you sent me 2 nights ago was take LeBron and AD out of the game. And then I remembered what you said 5 minutes ago where it's we need to put ourselves in a situation where we don't even have to think about putting them back in, you know? That goes back to keeping the foot on the pedal is, our bench might not be the best, but they should be able to handle a 20-point lead so we don't have to play these guys against all rookies, It's let's just, like you said, get out hot, and then once we do, keep the foot on the gas, second and third quarter, don't let up. Those are typically the biggest. It's we either come out hot or we start slow, and then second or third quarter is where it all happens. It's it's either good or bad. So let's just keep it consistent. I want to see Melo's gonna be hot again. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of look for everyone else to do their thing. No one has to be too aggressive. Like you said, Westbrook had some awful turnovers in the first
really
Rockets game.
Ones. Yeah, really bad ones.
He's also leading the league in turnovers, which is insane.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, gosh.
He just does. He makes really stupid decisions sometimes, but, what can you do? Look for... I want our stars to have a short night. That's all.
Me too.
That's all I want.
No, that would be amazing. And with Carmelo too, he's kind of unconscious. He just comes out and just fires. This is the type of game where it's just be smart. There's no need to come out and be too anxious and try to force something. Pump fake, step into a pull up. I want to see stuff like that where it's I'm just gonna beat you because I'm smarter than you. Yeah, you guys are young, you got some talent, but we got the brains. Show that, prove that tonight.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think another key would be just to, if we do get our stars out as early as possible, give those guys a chance to just, run a little bit. Monk, Reeves, just the bench guys. Just let them go, see what happens.
Yeah, give them the freedom and the green light. Again, kind of going back to what I said before, I hate sometimes it's just Westbrook or LeBron or AD need to make a play every, that's not necessary. Most of the time, like I said, but like you're saying, give some of these other guys a chance, run some plays for them. I want to see a little more, don't know, versatility. I don't know if that's the right word. Like, I just want to see him mix. I want to see him, like, Vogel mix up the offense a little bit tonight.
Yeah. So. Yeah, totally. So we think that's a win?
Yeah, I'm going to take a win. I think they will. I really do.
Okay. Me too. And then Thunder again. I mean...
Dude,
I say we just come with a vengeance and blow them out.
I'm going to give the Lakers the benefit of the doubt. I think they're really pissed off with how, and especially with how, was it Baisley that, like, dunked at the end and it got Westbrook ejected? I think Westbrook, he's the type of player that, like, takes that personally. I think he's going to just dominate.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. So I'm taking, yeah. And my hot take, that's actually going to my hot take, in the Thunder game, or are we not supposed to say that yet?
I think we have the same thing.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately. What's yours? I was going to say Westbrook 40-point triple-double.
I was going to do well, actually, I was going to do a 30, 20, and 10 game.
From Westbrook?
20 rebounds. Yeah, that's my...
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Take out the 10 assists as well. That's insane. Just I think he's going to get 20 rebounds. I know it's random, but I think he's just going to be all over the place that game. So...
I think I'll let you have the Westbrook one, but I'm going to put mine for the Trailblazers game on Saturday.
Okay, all right. So, yeah.
But, yeah, let's talk about the Blazers. Blazers are kind of the same team as like they always are. It's just like kind of a fringe.
Been bad this year.
Yeah, fringe playoff team. Lillard hasn't really been doing anything.
Billups,
yeah.
Your boy, dude.
Yeah.
Rip Hamilton.
McCollum's playing pretty well, but that's pretty much They got Norman Powell, Covington, Nurkic, Lillard, McCollum. They look like the same team. Mm-hmm. But what are the keys to this game? I mean, I think two of them are pretty obvious. Like they play horrible defense too. So
yeah, and that was to my point of kind of like my key for that game. It's going to be hit open shots. I think they're going to get a lot of opportunity. They're going to get a lot of open looks. The Blazers do kind of play lazy defensively, and their best defenders are Covington, Powell. Those are their two best wing defenders, right?
Yeah.
They're probably, I would think, well, I know Covington's probably going to guard LeBron. He always does. Maybe Powell, or no, never mind. I'm just curious who they're going to put on Westbrook. I don't know if they'll, like, try to mix it up and, like, put Powell on him to try to stop him defensively. Regardless, my point is that's going to leave McCollum and Lillard, who really aren't the best defenders, especially McCollum. Like, I want to see those role players step up this game. Saturday is a role player game for me. I want to see Monk hit a few threes back to back. I want to see Bazemore hit some corner threes. I want to see other guys make the best of their opportunity, and I think they're going to get a lot of it. I don't know. I just like kind of what you're saying. Their defense is a little lazy. They let up a lot of open threes. Like, we signed these guys because they're 40% from three last year. They shot 40%. Like, show it. Like, I want to see that this game. And we need to take advantage of that. We need to take advantage of their defense being weak. Go inside out, get a lot of action with high pick and rolls. Try to create mismatches. Let's get Covington off LeBron. Let's get Nurkic against LeBron. Let's get, some Lillard against LeBron, McCollum. Create those mismatches and take advantage of it. That's what I'm looking for.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out to be just a shootout, like who can score more points, and who's going to miss those threes, because a lot of threes are going to be flying, especially from the Blazers. So
yeah.
There's always a bit of luck when you play the Blazers. It's like, are they going to make 11 threes, or are they going to miss them all and we blow them out by 25? It's like kind of what we saw when we played them in the playoffs 2 years ago. It was just complete domination.
I do worry about Lillard a little bit in this game.
Okay.
Don't let him get hot, man. Don't let him get hot.
Yeah. And it seems like the Lakers' luck is like if he's going to start being hot this season, it's against us. But
someone tweeted today, I saw, they're like, watch, like, all the talk on Twitter is like about how Lillard's played so poorly, and he's shooting, I think, 8% from 3 or something, like crazy. People are like, knowing like the Lakers' luck, he's going to go like for 40 and like 7 for 10 from 3 or something. Like, dude, I know it's going to happen. Like, I can feel it. Like,
yeah. Well, it just goes back to what you sent me the other day when you were saying, well, today you just said, you know, you're supposed to shoot 40% from 3, then do it. And then it's like they go to a different team and Kuzma puts up a double-double, 18 and 12.
Oh,
it's
let's
like,
not even talk about that. You know,
it's a different team now.
And especially with Lillard and McCollum, like, you can't have those defensive breakdowns that I was talking about before, where guys, like, a lot of these games, guys are just getting wide open looks. You know, 2 guys are closing out on the same guy or on pick and rolls. There's no communication. You got to talk. I want to see communication. Like, you need to talk. You need to be in the right places. There was a play, actually, against the Rockets last game where, like, Reeves made a mistake where he left Eric Gordon open, where it was like he helped too strongly on, I don't know, a guy that couldn't really shoot. I can't remember who it was. And I could hear Vogel say, "Come on, Austin." Like, and those are the little things, right, that like Lillard, McCollum can't do that stuff against. You got to know who the shooter is, right? I mean, you know basketball, when we play, like, if we're playing against like a guy at LA Fitness that can shoot and we know it, I'm sticking closer to him, right? And we'll live with even Powell shooting. I'll take Powell shooting a 3 than Lillard. Like, so those are the things we gotta really clean up, and I hope to see that defensively because it hasn't been the best to start the season. Yeah.
Well, Max, besides my hot take, I think we go 3-0. I'm just gonna.
I think so too.
I think they need to understand that this is probably the easiest our schedule is going to be for a while. Mm-hmm. Well, we do have another stretch in November that's pretty easy, but for now, we should be looking at 5 wins in a row. Like, that should be our mindset. Just get through this week, win every game. And then, of course, my hot take was, I'm going to keep saying it. I know I missed it the first week, but Melo coming back to Portland, it's a shootout. He's got 7 threes.
Wait, didn't you
on Saturday?
You said it last time, 6, and didn't he get?
I said 6. No, but he didn't get. It was the wrong game.
Oh, it was the wrong game.
So I'm picking the Trailblazers. Melo's gonna have 7 threes against his old
threes,
team.
Dude. These are crazy.
He's playing well. All he does is shoot threes. He has 21 points, 23 points. They're all threes.
Man.
So, yeah.
Did I get my hot take was the Westbrook 20-point rebound game? Or, 20 rebound game.
30 points and 20 rebounds.
Let's take out the 30 point. I think that's making it a little crazy. He's going to get 20 rebounds. And since that's like a crazy hot take, can it just be in any of the 3 games?
Sure.
All right, that's fair.
But I like how it's against the Thunder, though. That's like the fun thing.
Okay, I'll stick with it. All right. Thunder, he's going 20, just because he's going to be pissed off.
Yeah. All right, well, we could end it a little bit early because we want to get it up tonight, but let's talk about a couple around the league things.
Yeah.
We always like to check in on LaMelo just because he's fun. Dude, he's so good.
He's
crazy.
So good, dude.
He just dominates.
He's strong, man. Like, some of his drives, like, dude.
He also just doesn't care. Like, he just plays.
His
like, he has
stats,
no fear.
Right? And, like...
Yeah.
It's just, he plays like he's literally, like, a seasoned vet. Like, that's how he plays. Yeah. That's what blows my mind about him, dude. Like, he always makes the right play. He always does.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's true.
The maturity for his age. Like...
Yeah. Zion 2 to 3 weeks away from full practicing.
Oh, man. He's
just getting... Yeah, he's getting destroyed in the...
Dude.
Like, on Twitter and stuff. Kind of crazy.
I mean, that is such a disaster in New Orleans. Because, I guess what was like he can't, or his family was saying he's not happy in New Orleans or something, or like there's just like rumors that he's not really happy there, and he looks like he's gaining a lot of weight, and dude, you can't do that. You're gonna like keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
What a bizarre situation.
I forgot to ask you about this, Max. I know this is a big thing for you that you've talked about in years prior, but Harden not getting the calls that he wanted, that he's used to. He's getting frustrated. How does that make you feel?
I love it. You know, he deserves it. I love the new rule change with these unorthodox, craziness where these players are throwing their bodies into other guys, hulking. I was watching a replay from, I think it was last year or year before, where Harden like drove and he hooked someone's arm and like went up and faked it. And they called the foul on him, and I'm like, that's an offensive like, I am so happy they're cracking down on crap like that. It is so bad for the game. It's so bad for the game, dude. And you know what? He can cry all he wants. They literally made this rule because of you, dude. Like, that's the reason I hate Harden. Like, for that reason. So, anyways, I'm just really happy. I'm really happy.
Yeah. I agree. I think it cleans up the game, you know?
How about the Celtics, dude? They've been awful this year. 2-4, I think, or something. Or 2-5.
It must be Schroeder, man.
Dude. I honestly think like that they need to like either make a trade. Yeah, they need to figure something out, because like, dude, that window of like the whole Brown and Tatum thing, it's not working. Like it's just not working. I know we're really early in the season. They could turn it around, but I'm sorry, like that roster, dude. I watched a couple of their games, like it's not working. They need to make a change. They just have to, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think they should. Plus, eventually these guys get over it. They're like, I'm wasting my career, like losing in the first round.
Exactly.
And then just like recycling point guards every year that don't want to play with us.
Exactly, dude. Those guys Kemba are so good too. Like, Brown and Tatum. Oh my God, those guys are so good. Like, such a shame.
I like Robert Williams though. He's my
he's fun to watch.
How about my Bulls, man? 6-1.
Dude, they are looking good, and Caruso looks even more improved. What a terrible miss they just play inspired basketball. It's like everyone gets that it's not like the Lakers in the sense that like we have all these stars as well. It's like these guys have a chip on their shoulder. Yep.
They want to win. And they just all buy in. Like it's like a different Lonzo too. It's like he's just fully bought in, man. It's crazy to see. And then of course you have like Levine feels better now that he has a better team. I don't know. They just I'm scared of them and excited to see what they do.
That GM did a phenomenal job. Like that's how you assemble a good roster, right? Like he has everything. You got a center that can stretch the floor. You got your star in Levine. You bring in Lonzo Ball to help with your defense and also just your playmaking. You have Caruso off the bench. You have DeRozan you bring in that can just be a straight up killer. Like the way they construct, and they got some good bench guys too. The way they constructed that roster was very impressive. That was very impressive. The trade they made for Vucevic. So, did I say Vucevic? Did I say the wrong name?
Yeah, you said... that's right. No, yeah.
No, Vucevic, right, but I think before I said a different name. Sorry if I said the wrong name. But anyways, did I say Jokic? I think I might have said Jokic. I don't know. Anyways, I just think that team was assembled...
I didn't hear you say that.
Oh, okay. It's been a long day, guys. Long day. I just think they like you said, they all really did buy in, and I think they have a very well-rounded roster. Shooting, scoring, playmaking, defense. And yeah, man, look out for them. I still think the Heat are the best team in the East, personally. Dude, the Heat are so good. Are you kidding me?
The reason
Talk about defensively, dude. They are so good defensively.
I made a funny face when Max said
that.
Yeah,
Matt's giving me a weird look. Wait, you don't think the Heat are the best team? I think they're better than the Nets, personally.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the Nets are just
Butler's
a mess.
playing out of his mind right now, dude.
The longer Kyrie stays out, the worse they're gonna get. Just because it's so much tension and like Harden's pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, hey, they played us in the finals 2 years ago, so can't count them out at all.
I just think Lowry was a nice pickup for them, and
yeah.
I don't know. I who would you say are like the top 3 if you had to rank, or top 4 in the East if you had to rank it?
I mean, the Bucks aren't playing well, but it's hard to count them out. Like they haven't really changed at all. Yeah, I guess the Knicks are 5-2.
The Knicks are. That's another team. There's a lot of teams in the East this year that have really been impressive to start the season.
Yeah. So we'll see. Kemba's the point guard now, so D Rose off the bench. It looks not a bad team.
RJ Barrett's been playing really well too.
Yep. He hit 35 the other day against the Pelicans. But yeah, guys, we're gonna try and wrap it up soon here, just because we're trying to get this episode up before the Rockets game. Just cause, but make sure and follow us on social media at Lens Lakers on Twitter. And on Instagram, Lakers Lens Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube. 500 right now, guys. 3-3. No, 4-3. So got a lot of work to do, but hopefully go on a streak. You know, we tend to do that is
put the bad teams away.
Yeah, go on like an 8-game win streak. We can do it, and
I would love that.
we're hoping 3 games in a row. Just
don't
easy
beat
wins.
Yourself. Yeah, don't beat yourself.
Yeah, that's really the only way we lose. But yeah, anything else, Max?
No, that's it. I think we touched on a lot of great topics, and it is kind of hard right now. Just kind of what I was saying earlier, like small sample size. We got a lot of games to be played. Let's really see how this team adjusts to the mistakes they've made, and kind of grow into a team that learns how to play with one another. But you can't blow the 26-point leads. I don't want to see that anymore. Please, that's all I can. Just stop doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. And do you have a quick injury report, Max?
Yes. So Taylor Horton Tucker looks like he should be back in December at some point. He'll be reevaluated shortly. Looks like he just got his cast or splint or whatever he was wearing off. So it looks like he started taking shots today, which is great news. Obviously, it's a process. He needs to kind of get back into the swing of things. So he looks like on track to return in about a month. Ariza, I forget the timeline, but he should also be looking to come back probably kind of close to the time THT does. I assume just because he's also been sitting out a lot, they'll probably take some time to get him going. Ellington's practicing with the G League. He's basically good to go. They just wanted to get him some practice run. Nunn, I am actually not 100% sure with him. I think he's a little closer than everyone else. So I'm hoping to see him in the next week or two. Maybe week.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get Nunn back.
He's a bone bruise, so bone bruise, he said reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks 2 weeks ago. So
next week or so. Yeah.
And then of course LeBron's already banged up, but he's fine. AD, I don't know what happened to him,
dude.
Man. That was
Matt
scary.
He texted me he's 100% ACL. 100%.
Dude, it looked like it was non-contact in the way he went down and got back up, but I think what happened was he banged knees, which is the best possible thing.
And same with LeBron, dude. They fall down and they're screaming. AD was screaming, holding his knee. Why did they do that to us, dude?
Yeah. I think luckily it was just a painful knee collision, which is
hurt.
Always it hurts, but it's always better than something tearing.
Oh my dude, my heart stopped.
Yeah. Just get up off the ground. I gotta add that, man. or don't even go to the ground, dude. I counted. I was watching with my sister last week, and I said, let me count how many times AD goes to the ground tonight. And it had to be like 11 or 12.
Yeah, I know that was something you touched on last year, man. I still see him doing it, dude. When is he going to get it in his head to stop doing that?
It's sketchy. Yeah. But I guess that's kind of what makes him great. I don't know. Anyways, guys, yeah, we're hoping for 3-0 this week, and we will catch up with you. Max will be on Twitter just going crazy like he always does. And, yeah, follow everywhere, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.